Okay, another video. This is on the revelation of Abraham or Abram. He was given the name Abraham, or the leader of the chosen people by God. And I'm going to read two chapters, I think, about about different things, and it gives us a little bit more light into um, the Garden of Eden. And I absolutely do not believe that we were all we are always this short. And if you look into a Facebook group called Question Anything, there are clearly giants that used to roam the earth. Well, actually, if you look in Enoch, it also says that angels came down and and had conjugational visits with women, and they produced giants. And they were very evil and ate everything and caused and ate each other. Um, and these people caused God to have the flood. but um, but this you'll see what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm still getting over being sick. But this is chapter. Sorry, I'm in the wrong chapter. I can hold the book and do this at the same time. Okay, here we go. Chapter 22. And I said, O perpetual mighty one, that's God, what is this picture of the creatures? And he said to me, this is my will with regard to those who exist in the divine world council. And it seemed well-pleasing before my sight. And then afterward I gave commandment to them through my word. And it came to pass, whatever I had determined to be was already planned beforehand in this picture, and it stood before me before it was created, as you have seen. And I said, O Lord, mighty and perpetual, who are the people in this picture on this side and on that? Who are the people in this picture on this side? Oh. And he said to me, these which are on the left side are the multitude of peoples which have formerly been in existence and which are destined after you, some for judgment and restoration, and others for vengeance and destruction at the end of the world. But these, which are on the right side of the picture, they are the people set apart for me, of the peoples with Azazel. These are they whom I have ordained to be born of you and to be called my people. I believe Azazel was one of the fallen angels, but I'm not 100% sure. There were a whole lot of angels. That it was 1/3 of the angels, but they're referred to in the Apocrypha, um, and are told. If you look up in Wikipedia, if you look up Amalekites and Canaanites, you'll see that they were very that what we're shown today and how we supposedly grew bigger, we didn't. We didn't evolve from chimps. And what they don't tell you is that 90 whatever percent is they leave out a whole lot of DNA from both the human side and the chimp side. And if you were to include the entire human DNA, then it would be different. Science can, and I was told this because I am a wildlife biologist, but by trade, but any science experiment can be manipulated and come out a certain way. And a lot of people that don't know science and don't know how things work and interact get taken by a lot of people, and so you definitely have to watch where things go. I think there's more in heaven than we think. The aliens, by the way, are demons. If they ever come to the earth, rebuke and bind them in the name of Yeshua or Jesus Christ, because they are demons. They basically want you to think that they come to this world and can control you. They can't. Okay, so chapter 23, and this is about Adam and Eve. Now look again in the picture who it is who seduced Eve, and what is the fruit of the tree, and you will know what there will be, how it will be to your seed among the people at the end of the days of the age. So far as you cannot understand, I will make known to you. For you are well pleasing in my sight, and I will tell you what is kept in my heart. And I looked into the picture, and my eyes ran to the side of the Garden of Eden. And I saw there a man very great in height and fearful in breadth, incomparable in aspect, and embracing a woman who likewise approximated to the aspect and shape of the man. In other words, he was very big and muscular and very different than the picture that we're given. He was a very big, muscular guy that was made in the image of God, and we have majorly tainted that and gone the way of that. I think it's the book of Adam and Eve also points to how the world and us will decay to such a rate, and we will never be, until we get to heaven, as great as they were back then. And they were standing under a tree of Eden, and the fruit of this tree was the appearance of a bunch of grapes of the vine. Behind the tree was standing, as it were, a serpent in form, having hands and feet like a man's, wings on its shoulder, and 6 on the right side and 6 on the left, and they were holding the grapes of the tree in their hands, and both were eating it from whom I had seen embracing. And I said, who are these mutually embracing? And I said, or who is this between them? Or what is the fruit which they are eating? A mighty perpetual one. He said, this is the human world. This is Adam, and this is their desire on the earth, and this is Eve. But the who is between them represents ungodliness. They're beginning on the way to perdition, even as Azazel. And I said, O perpetual, O mighty one, why have you given such power to destroy the generation of men and their works on earth? And he said to me, they who will to do evil, and how much I hated it, and those who do it, over them I gave him power to be beloved of them. And I answered and said, O perpetual and mighty one, why have you willed to effect that evil should be desired in the hearts of men? You indeed are angered over that which was willed by you at him who is doing what is profitable in your counsel. And he said to me, being angered at the nations on your account and on the account of the people of your family who are to be separated after you, as you see in the picture, a burden of destiny that is laid on them. And I will tell you and how much will be in the last days. Now look at everything in the picture. And I looked and saw what was before me in the creation, and I saw Adam and Eve existing with him. And with them, the cunning adversary and Cain, who acted lawlessly through the adversary, and slaughtered Abel, and the destruction brought and caused on him through the lawless one. I also saw impurity there, and those who lust after it, and its pollution, and their jealousy, and the fire of their corruption in the lowest parts of the earth. I saw theft there, and those who hasten after it, and the arrangement of their retribution, and the judgment of the great court. I saw naked men there, and the foreheads each other in their disgrace, and their passion which they had against each other, their retribution. I saw desire there, and in her hand the head of every kind of lawlessness, and her scorn and her waste assigned to them. But basically it goes on. But as you know, in the Garden of Eden, Eve took the fruit and gave it to Adam, and they both ate of the tree. And I don't know if what I'm going to say, but what I feel is with this, because of this happening and because of God losing a third of the angels, I think he was testing Eve and Adam to see if there was any sign of wickedness or wrong that was going to mislead them in heaven. And as you can see, they slipped up. And I think he allowed the devil to, or Azazel, or the beast, or whatever you want to call him, to tempt them, so that, because if you think of it, God just lost, well, I don't know how long the story, and how long between the angels falling. But if you think about it, if you had a group of people and you lost a whole lot of your people, I mean, how would you weed out the good from the wrong, and see to it that you don't lose other people out of heaven? And I think that's, and also in the book of Adam and Eve, it says that Adam and God basically made a covenant. Well, I don't know if it was a covenant or a contract or whatever you want to call it, but he basically said that in 5,500 years, I'll let you back into the Garden of Eden. And we are, if we have done it right, we are well beyond 5,500 years. So, but I think that is why we're tested. We are basically sifted, and that's what it also says in the Bible. It's that we're sifted like wheat, that we we have to be sifted and tried, and because God wants us to choose Him. He wants us to willingly go after Him. And we all mess up, and I'm definitely, chief among the sinners, just like Paul said, because Paul said, I think it was in Romans, where it says that the evil that I don't want to do, I do, but the things that I want to do, I don't do. And I think this is the nature of man. Sorry for my coughing. But I think God has to allow this to go through. And if you've been with me in my other videos, you know that I've gone through, and there's been things that come to light. And I believe we're tested, and we have to be tried. And I believe that God knows everything that we'll do and everything we'll say and everything. He knows everything. He knew it before he sent us here, because we were made in heaven by Him and then sent to our mother's womb or whatever, and we went from that point. This is my dog, sorry, but this is Tobias, and this is the other pooch. But yes, God doesn't want us want to lose anyone else, and He has rules. And the reason why these rules are there is because these rules lead to sin, and they lead to death, and they lead to rebelling against God, and then God would yet again have to throw people out. And He doesn't want that. So for I think it's more than 5,500 years. I think it's way more now. Well, not way more, but it's about, I think we're closer to 6,000. But He is trying to weed out this sinful part of humanity. And He had to allow it to go to this far to see those people that would remain faithful to Him, and that didn't have that wanted Him and wanted to be covered by Yeshua or His blood. There's no way that anyone would make it without the blood. If you think you're good, I guarantee you, if you go through the 10 Commandments and go, oh, have I ever done this or done that or murdered or have, if you've ever looked at a woman with lust in your heart, then yeah, you've messed up. And that one thing could potentially send you the other direction. So I'm going to fight like hell until I get to heaven. But I'm going to also illuminate the way for others to go. I believe there's more about heaven and hell and all that. But thank you for joining me. But this is the revelation of Abraham, and there's some, very interesting things. And the book that I've been reading from is the complete 54-book Apocrypha. It's about $32 on Amazon, and that includes shipping and handling. But thank you for joining me. Until next time.